Hi, everyone. I've been talking to one who believes, and we've been talking about different things that's happening. And he's got a checklist that he wanted to share with us, and I wanted him to put it on. And it's going to be quite a long presentation, I think, but we'll just play it by ear. Tell us about it, one who believes.
Okay, well, and thanks, Gary, for putting this on because my main concern is I want people to feel comfortable about what's coming. There's a lot of controversy. There's people trying to say, that we're not going to get good money for our currency and trying to say you got to be in groups and all kinds of other stuff here at the last minute. And so I made this little checklist because I want to show everybody that they really know everything they need to know right now. And whatever they don't know, they'll get to know in time. And so that's basically the theme of it. So I'm going to go ahead and read it. Short GCR checklist. And of course, this will be on Dinar Chronicles. And when it's posted, it'll be a link there below it. So it says, in light of this last minute controversy, this quick checklist will help you realize that you already know everything you need to know and are more ready than you know. Getting and calling the 800 numbers. At this point, it is not clear if you will call a special 800 number or call the bank's 800 numbers. However, that doesn't matter because when it's time to call, it will be clear which way it is going to be done. At this point, it has been said that there will be a 2-phone call process. Tip: call as soon as you get the numbers in case it matters. Okay, when you call the first 800 number, you will find out this information. Number one, whether or not you need to be in a group to exchange. And you already know the answer. You don't have to be in a group. Number two, you'll find out whether or not there are exchange centers and that Zim has a special location. When you call that 800 number, you'll know for sure that answer. And I'm quite certain you will find that there are exchange centers, and if you have a Zim, you'll have a special location. And number three, you'll find out what locations are available based on your zip code. That's when you call the first 800 number. Then they're going to give you the phone number for the location you've selected, and then you will call the second 800 number, and this is for that. When you call the second 800 number, you'll find out this information: the exact address and time for your exchange. Number two, you'll find out if you could start at a later date due to illness and travel. Number three, you'll find out what ID and other information you will need to bring. Number four, you will find out who you could bring with you and what they need to bring, such as their ID. And number five, you'll be given special instructions like keep this information secret about where the exchange locations are. Okay, so you see, all of those questions are going to be answered on your second 800 number call, and all the other questions will be answered on your first 800 number call. So you see, at each step, you're going to find out everything you need to know. Okay, at your exchange appointment, it is clear to me if you hold any of these special currencies, you'll be directed to an off-site location for your exchange process, but you will know that for sure when you call the first 800 number. When you are at your exchange appointment, where you will actually exchange your currency for USN, which is the new US money, you will find out many things that we don't know right now. First, the tips. Tip number one, ask for the privately negotiated rate. Tip number two, be prepared to talk about your humanitarian projects, plans. Tip number three, say exchange currency, not cash in currency, just in case it matters. Tip number four, whatever you decide at this appointment will be final for the most part. That's important to know. Okay, these are the questions and the information you'll find out. Number one, you will find out exactly what currencies and denominations are exchangeable. We can talk about that all we want now, but when you get there, you're going to find out which ones are exchangeable and which denominations. Number two, you will find out what level rates there are for no NDA and for NDAs and structured payments, etc. So you're going to find out about that rate structure. Number three, you will find out about trust and set up a few temporary trusts for your protection. Number four, you will find out exactly what rate you will get on each currency based on the different factors, such as how much currency you have, whether or not you ask for the privately negotiated rates, whether or not you want the NDA. For whatever reasons, you're going to find out at that point exactly what you're going to get, clearly. Number 5, you will be given a brief overview of the services and perks that they will offer you based on the amount of money you have. And number 6, you will find out about the new USN currency. You'll definitely get a chance to see what it looks like, and you'll decide how much you want to walk out of the exchange appointment with in cash. Oops. Okay, let's see here. Okay, and number 7, you will get temporary credit cards, cashier's checks, and send some wires. You'll find out everything you need to know about that. What size wires you can send, what size checks you can get, how many you can get, your temporary credit cards, etc. All those questions are going to be answered there. And there isn't anything you need to know now that you can't find out then. Because even if you weren't ready then to send the wires, clearly you can send them later after your appointment. So that's not going to be a big deal. And then number 8, you will more than likely set your next appointment with your wealth manager while you're still at the exchange center. Okay, now, this is having to do with your wealth manager appointment. Your first appointment was just to get your currency exchanged and set up a few temporary trusts and get a credit card or two. However, the wealth manager appointment will be less formal and more about your long-term plan. At this initial wealth manager appointment, you will find out these things. Tip: most everything involved with the wealth manager can be changed as your needs and wants change. So while the things you did in your exchange appointment are pretty final, everything you do with your wealth manager is flexible and can be changed for the most part at any time. Tip number 2, this will be a long-term relationship, probably lasting for generations. So these people are going to be your partners to handle your financial business for a long time to come. Okay, so you're going to find out these things. Number 1, you will find out what services they will offer you in great detail. They're going to go into great detail what they have to offer, what perks, free this, free that, no fees this, no fees that, all that good stuff. Number 2, they will offer to do everything for you, from paying your bills to running your humanitarian projects for you. So they will offer to take care of everything for you. Of course, it comes at a price. That's part of the package. But on the other hand, you have absolute freedom if you want it, or you can work as much as you want or work as little as you want, and they will take up the slack. Number 3, you will be helped and guided in every way to the degree that you want or don't want. So if you want to handle a lot of stuff yourself, then by all means do it. If you want to lean on them to do a bunch of things, or you're calling them, 3 times an hour with questions, by all means do so. They will be there to whatever degree you want them to be. Number 4, you'll be more specific in your trust and set up financial plans. So this is where you set up the trust exactly the way you want them and the exact number you want, and add or take away trust. In your first exchange appointment, you're just setting up a temporary bucket that your money's going to sit in with some protection, a skeletal trust. But at this appointment, you're going to get into some details of who can do it, who can't, who can run it, what it pays, what it doesn't pay, what's in it, what's not in it, all of that stuff. That'll all be taken care of at your second appointment with the wealth manager. And number 5, you will set up a future appointment to bring in others who will be working with you and are directly impacted, such as family, CPAs, whoever else that's at that level that will need to meet the wealth managers. And they do have classes for, you want to understand what the family office, they have classes where if you have kids or other people in your family, you just bring them to the wealth manager and they'll teach them all about wealth management, what it takes, what this is about, and they'll handle all of that for you. You don't have to worry about that. The bottom line is you'll be able to find out whatever you need to know at some point in the process. There really is nothing to worry about at this point. This list does not cover everything, but it's enough to give you comfort about the process, and that at each point you will learn what you need to know before going on to the next step. At each point point in the process, once the start, you will have someone who knows what is going on that you can ask questions of. That's the important thing. You can ask all the questions you need for the next step. So at each point, you will know what you need to know before moving on. So that's going to be easy. It is about to start very soon, and once it does, it's going to seem like high speed. Just relax. You've got this. You are always and always in charge of each and every step of the process. If you feel pressured, you can just walk away, rethink it, reconsider everything, and come back again later. Don't worry. You already have got it made. You will have the best advice that money can buy. May you get everything you want and live the life of your dreams. Signed, One Who Believes.
That's great advice, every bit of that, and it's something I keep thinking of other things, like, and what I'm thinking now, One Who Believes, is I'm thinking about if we're going to have a trust, and the way I'm setting up it is so the people will be participating in the ownership of the trust, and we're all going to be getting the same salary. There's not going to be any difference in salaries, whether it's the janitor or whether it's the president, and that's probably going to be about $25,000 a month. And besides, we're going to be paying for all the homes and all the cars and everything. And I'm thinking now that we'll probably have an accounting firm paying everybody's personal bills. And we'll have our own insurance company, or take care of everybody's insurance, take care of everybody's legal things. So it's going to be, I think, with a trust, we can have the trust handle everything for everyone, almost where it's almost really peaceful, and yet there'll be checks and balances and for everyone. And I think we can put that together. That's my dream anyway.
Sure. Yeah, well, you see, your first appointment with the exchange is going to be more about what your rates are and about the big picture, how much money you're going to have all together. And you might set up a couple trusts, one really big fat one and one smaller one that you're going to be working out of. But when you get to your wealth manager, that's when you can set up 100 trusts.
Right.
All different kinds of trusts that are within trusts, and companies that are within companies, and payout structures, and who's in charge of what, and who has access. All of that stuff. You can go as complicated, as complex, and as involved as you want to be. But all of that kind of structure you'll set up once you get to the wealth manager. And you're going to amend it from time to time. You're going to improve it or change things. And so you'll be working hand in hand with them forevermore, and probably your family and generations will as well. So it'll be a living process where it's always changing and evolving based on your needs and your changes and what you want and what you don't want. That's going to change over time.
Right. Well, the detail things are what I just hate detail stuff.
Yeah.
So I just want, I want detailed people that are talented in that to handle that. So I think this is going to be a perfect situation.
Yeah, that's what they specialize in. That's what they want to do. They want to handle all of that for you, and they don't care what it is you want because they're getting paid for their service.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
They're not trying to take anything from you. They're
No.
trying to take as much off of you as they can, because the more they take off of you, the more they get paid. And then, believe me, they're well worth it.
Yeah. Well, at these exchange rates, there's no reason we can't have it done the best possible way.
That's exactly it. You'll have the best advice that money can buy, and don't spare, don't skimp on your advisors.
Okay, well, if there's anything else you want to add, you're sure welcome to. Otherwise, we'll.
For now, I just, people are worried at those last minutes about what's true and what's not true and how it's going to be. And I just want them to know that when it comes time to call the 800 numbers, you're going to find out exactly how it's going to go. So you don't have to worry about that now. And when you call the 800 numbers, you're going to find out about exchange centers or whether you go to banks. You don't have to worry about that now. And when you get to your appointment, you're going to find out about what's accepted and what's not and all that information there. You don't have to worry about that now. When you get to your wealth manager, you're going to be able to set up and ask a million questions about how to set things up. You don't have to worry about that now. So at each step of the way, you're going to be very comfortable each step of the way, because each step of the way you'll have people there that will tell you exactly the truth, exactly what's going on right when you need to know it. So it's going to be fun.
Now, we touched on our previous conversation about other things like the secretive things that people are talking about, that we kind of got ideas but no, not specifics. And if somebody criticizes something we say, the only thing we can say now is that, and I think you really had a good idea, that all that's going to be revealed. And so
Yeah.
that's kind of our standard answer that you and I talked about. That if somebody says, "Well, can you prove this?" Well, it's all going to be revealed. That's all we can say.
Yeah. At the time of the financial disclosure, so to speak, when the RB and DCR is actually underway, at each stage, everything you want to know will be revealed to you. There will be no secrets then. And when it comes to disclosure of aliens, the spacecraft, and the Hollow Earth, and the NASA and the Republic, and all of that, that'll all be out in the open. In fact, they'll have public messages playing 24 hours a day, explaining what that's all about, and websites you can go to that are sanctioned. They're telling you the truth about exactly what's going on. But right now, it's all being kept secret for very good reasons. And but the minute it's released, then and everything will prove itself then. But until now, we just have to learn what we can and just be open-minded, because probably when it's revealed, it's going to be a lot different than we thought.
Okay, well, I want to thank you so much for sharing this with us, One Who Believes, and all of you. It's getting close, so just get ready and get prepared. And this is what this message is for: is to help you think about all the different things that need to be thought about, but relax about it, and it's all going to come natural, and it's going to come easy, I'm sure.
Definitely.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone, and thank you, One Who Believes.